everyone, what's going on? It's time for the Group A Finals. That's right, we have 3 contestants over here in Group A that are fighting for their lives to get into the Super 6 up here. Let's go through all the clues, a little bit of hints we may have for the show, and the pitch correct audio. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So yes, this week is the Group A Finals. Right now, we have the Sun, the Popcorn, and the Snow Owls going for 2 positions up here. So these 2 spots up here, out of these 3, only 2 can move up. And this episode is called The Masked Frontier, which I think is quite clever, especially because we'll say 2 out of 3 here are in the country format. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I think the naming of the episodes really have nothing to do with it, but they're just kind of clever. And sometimes if you get bored, look up the listings of what they're called because they are goofy. Anyway, with these 3 contestants, we do know that the bottom 2, so the 2 that are left over, say 1, when it comes to the voting, there's 2 rounds of it. The first one will go ahead and be automatically put through, but the bottom 2, we're getting a Smackdown. That's right. I know you guys love the Smackdowns. We didn't have many last season. Season 2 had them. I love them. To me, Smackdowns are probably the best. And so we're looking at these 3 and saying, which ones have a more powerful voice? Which one's more fun? Which one's outgoing? I know a lot of you guys are like, but Joe, which one do you think is going to go up there? Well, looking at these 3 contestants, and already knowing the identities, which by the way, if you haven't done so yet, we have reveal videos for all 3 of these contestants, technically 4, because they're Snow Owls. If you want to watch those videos, which we go into every clue and pretty much tell you who's under the mask, I have those links in the description below. But looking at these 3, we know that these 2 groups here are older crowds, and normally the legends don't make it to the top. So I'm assuming that automatically the Sun's gonna move up, and then it's a fight between the Snow Owls and the Popcorn, and that's going to be hard. Let me know who you think of those 2 are going to make it up there. Now, the Masked Singer just uploaded online a tease of the episode. Take a look.
And Wednesday,
it's time to Smackdown!
Deal with it. 3 heavyweights go for the knockout.
What do you expect?
As they fight for 2 spots in the semifinals.
This is going to be the greatest showdown in the history of Masked Singer.
So that looks like it's going to be such a good episode. Now let's just go through all the clues and everything we have for Group A. Now, by this point, the last time we saw Group A was a few weeks ago. We have 2 episodes of clues, because episode 1 and then episode 3. So we have those 2 weeks of clues, and from there, once again, we have to determine who's under the mask, but really, at the end of the day, you really don't know until the mask comes off. So if you agree with our guesses, let us know. If you disagree, please let us know, because I like to go ahead and go through the comment section and see what you guys have guessed, and then maybe go through the clues and see if they match up, or the pitch correct audio, which we will play the pitch correct audio for you guys. It's going to be at the end of the video. So let's go ahead and dive into the clues for the Sun, the Snow Owls, and the Popcorn. Starting off with the Sun, we have the gold card, which said Fun Director. We saw a dog sitting at the bar. She mentioned extreme seasons and having felt once the center of the universe as someone who once was very popular in their genre. She said stardom came with a ton of pressure and she got burnt out and fell into a deep depression. She mentioned Frozen and A Quiet Place. Visual clues included Mickey Mouse ears and a jaguar. She said that she felt the mask was a reflection of who she is personality-wise. The next clues we had were from episode 3. She says she missed out on a lot of her childhood, growing up in a fractured home. So we can assume that this person, their parents were divorced. After that, we saw her watering plants in a greenhouse with someone who obviously is now one with nature. We see a red hourglass with a black widow on it, which for this person, until I finally figured out who it was, I had no idea what that clue was referencing to. But what do black widows do to their husbands? Yeah, anyway, continuing down, she said she's made up for lost time discovering childlike outlets to make up the magic. So, meaning that her childhood really wasn't that magical, and so now she does things to make life more magical. She says that going into the woods, she finds harmony in nature. Once again, more with the nature. She's with nature. We see a blue butterfly with heart-shaped wings, which was a big clue on who we think the sun is. She says, I love the dirt in my toes, a young memory of mine, and the land that slides in my heart walks the line, which is a play on words and also sort of a line from a country song. She said, I became a whiz at cooking up tasty treats for like-minded, immaterial girls. She then stirs this big spoon in a copper kettle. We see a lock of hair tied with a blue ribbon and a candy cane inside a mason jar. And the last two clues we had, she says, I'm always looking on the bright side, burning ugly rumors out of my life. As she burns some papers into the words, ugly rumors, in a circle with candles. And then the last one was a magic 8-ball. So those are all the clues for the sun. Feel free to comment below who you think that person is. Next is the snow owls, which we are pretty much figuring out that this is a husband and a wife. People that have not been together in a very long time. And the people that we do guess in a reveal video, the one in the comment section below, just announced that they are doing, they're actually promoting some kind of show that's taking place on December 6th. So it begs the question, are the Snow Owls making it to the Super 6? I know. Anyway, let's go through the clues. So in the beginning, we didn't know whether or not it was a male or female, so they said that they haven't been together in a while. They mentioned this being a family reunion. Once again, by this point, we didn't realize it was husband, wife, or brother, sister. She mentioned that the other owl was a prankster and a wise guy. The visual clue that was important was that there was a pearl inside an oyster and something that said jam a lot. Other visual clues were Magnolia and Quarrel Canyon. Still hard to say after all these weeks. She told a story about him driving her home to Hollywood, and when they arrived, he surprised her by putting snow outside the entire house. And the last clues of the episode is that the Mr. Owl, I keep saying the, but it's Mr. Owl, mentioned wings a lot, different kinds of wings. The next clues were from episode 3. He says that we've always had each other's back, like when I was in a messy breakup, I was swept under in an avalanche of emotion. We figured out that this breakup wasn't a relationship breakup. It was more of a label / singer kind of breakup. Then we see a marquee in the shape of the letter D. She says, I took his side and became his anchor, despite backlash from our community. So I guess maybe they had an issue with the country community because we're thinking this is a country couple. We see a ship anchor with the word management, man sticking out. So written on the side, we see 4 knights in armor, and one of them holds up a basketball with the letters DAL. She says, I had an opportunity fit for a queen that I was too scared to do. And then he adds, but I said, you can do it. And then the last clue we had was a drone flying by with a witch's hat on there. Ooh. So comment below who you think the Snow Owls are. And now we're down to the last person, the popcorn. Now, with the popcorn, we just put, I think she was the most recent reveal video we've done. And I believe we've gotten one extra clue on the podcast. For those who don't know, there is a podcast on iHeartRadio for the Masked Singer, hosted by last season's frog, Little Bow Wow. And at the very last minute of the episode, he always gives an extra clue. Very true. Make sure you listen to it. He gives a really big one, and that's kind of like what we found out here. So here we go. Starting off with episode 1. We see snacks in the city. Visual clues included a tiger, goldfish with hoop earrings on there, jeweled starfish, welcome to the hood, some meatloaf, an apple, a snake, and then we kind of see New York City behind her, and then there's a billboard on the bus that kind of relates to Broadway. She says you can call her Ms. Popcorn if you're tasty, so someone who is not married. Ms. Not married. She said though she built her career around love, she is not soft. She mentioned being a hustler, working long nights, rushing from one job to another, so we're assuming that this person worked in New York City, late night clubs, really late at night, going from job to job. There was a Butter Homes and Gardens magazine with her in the cover with a king. So she obviously was big enough to be with a massive singer. She mentioned jet setting with royalty. And lastly, there was a Proud Mary merry-go-round. Proud merry-go-round. Sorry, it's kind of weird to say that way. The next and final clues are from episode 3. She says, I wasn't always a healthy treat. We see her in a hospital bed, hooked up to a heart monitor. She says, when I was a tiny colonel, so when she was a kid, I suffered from a bizarre condition. I couldn't eat or sleep, and I developed severe anxiety, and I felt that I was in an emotional prison. So she went through a lot of problems as a kid. She dug in deep into her popcorn, and then she found her voice. And then a lot of visual clues included 4 cats. We saw candles that spelled out 16, so a reference to 16 candles. A hair crimper, a Rubik's Cube, which is a lot of references to the 80s, and then a rainbow flag on the wall. The last 2 clues we had, one was from a drone, which was a planet, big clue right there, and the last clue was from the podcast, which once again, you should listen to. They had Bob Saget on this past week, and it's very interesting because he mentioned something in there that relates to, not to this channel, but something that I've said a lot on this channel that no one else has said before. So listen to it. Not that I'm teasing the podcast, but I'm teasing the podcast. He said that the popcorn and him share a big connection. So, big connection, obviously something maybe they've performed together one time, maybe they toured together, who knows, right? But anyway, those are all the clues. Here's the audio that we went ahead and put together. Take a listen.
The second rock from the sun may be far away.
The second rock from the sun may be far away.
Venus.
But it should bring you closer to me.
I can tell you this. I'm definitely not Bjork.
Bjork.
And I'm not Honey Boo Boo.
Not Honey Boo Boo.
I'm not Fabio. I'm not Jack.
I can tell you this. I'm definitely not Bjork.
Bjork.
And I'm not Honey Boo Boo.
Not Honey Boo Boo.
I'm not Fabio. I'm not Jag. I've never been on Jag. I mean, Jag?
Will this magic 8-ball help you conjure up my identity? Outlook not so hot.
Will this magic 8-ball help you conjure up my identity? Outlook not so hot.
So feel free to comment below who you think they are. Who do you think is going home? Who do you think is going to make it to the Super 6? I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but I am. Now, let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to remind you guys that we still have our Masked Singer pins. I had it upside down. Our Masked Singer pins, I knew it pins, for sale, and t-shirts and mugs. You can get them all in the description below. I believe we dropped the price of these to be like $6 plus shipping, so make sure you grab one before we sell out. We don't have too many left. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'm Joey. I'll see you guys later. Bye.